Revolution Radio proudly presents, live from the heart of the Blue Ridge, Roanoke, Virginia. It's the Just Bernard Show with host Bernard Alvarez. Join Bernard as he shares topics that reveal the real matrix and empower your human experience, including world liberty, the esoteric, suppressed technologies, spiritual ascension, and human consciousness. Humanity has awakened, and our time has come to realize our full potential. And now, live from the Star City, your host, Bernard Alvarez.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Just Bernard Show here on Revolution Radio. We've got another fantastic show for you today. We're going to be talking with Cathy Bilsky, who is a shaman healer from the big island of Hawaii, but we'll have her come on in just a moment. First of all, I just want to welcome, of course, Reverend Trevor Nutt, who is our assistant producer, and he'll be chatting with you in the chat room. Hello, Trevor. Happy G.I.C. 5th anniversary.
Hello. Happy anniversary.
How are you doing today, Trevor?
I'm good. A little tired, but, you know.
Yeah, you know, me too. I'll tell you. It's been a really busy week. Have things been very busy with you in Winnipeg, Manitoba?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Very good, very good. I just wanted to let everybody know it is a really big week for us, for all of us at the Global Illumination Council. This Saturday will be our 5th anniversary as an organization. For those of you that don't know, the Global Illumination Council, we not only do this radio show, we do video shows, we've got a website, we got a blog. We do classes, everything dealing with truth, ascension, spirituality, and everything that we all like to talk about here. But it was 5 years ago that we actually pulled it all together and brought it all under one umbrella of the G.I.C. And created the GIC.org, which is our home website, our community website, actually. Anyway, I'm very excited that it's our 5th anniversary show today. Really, it'll be our 5th anniversary show here on Revolution Radio. Not on Revolution Radio. We're celebrating on Revolution Radio, and we're very happy to be a part of the Revolution Radio family, of course, here at freedomslips.com. So today we decided that it would be nice to have one of our close friends of the GIC, someone who we've had on the show regularly, actually, before we came on Revolution Radio. She came in and did her beautiful Quantum Leap prayers with us every week back when we were on Blog Talk. And she's just someone that we really love and that our friends and our fans love. Cathy Bilsky is an experienced shaman healer on the big island of Hawaii, where she owns a free healing center and rock shop in Honokaa. I don't know if I said that right, but she'll tell me later. And is the host of the Quantum Leap Show right here on Revolution Radio. She offers shamanic healing, such as curse removal and shamanic soul retrieval for those in need. Cathy Bilsky is a one-stop spiritual shop. I like that. Her earth mission is to help the world quantum leap into divine enlightenment. And that's, I think, many of our missions. So thank you for joining us today, Cathy Bilsky. Aloha.
Well, hi, Bernard. Happy anniversary, baby.
Thank you. Now,
I'm not to sing anymore, okay?
Okay. How did I say that right? Honokaa? How do you say that?
Honokaa.
Honokaa. Okay. Honokaa. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm still Hawaiian challenged myself, and I've only been here 9 years.
So, Cathy, it's such a pleasure to have you come back on the show. It's been way too long, and we just love you so much. So thank you for agreeing to come and join us today for this important, this wonderful show that we have celebrating the 5th anniversary.
Thank you. I really enjoy listening to your show. You really have some really awesome people, besides myself, of course. And you've really put out a lot of knowledge, which is so important these days.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's exactly what we're doing as well. So it's nice to have a fellow Revolution Radio host joining us today.
And it's so cute because your ads are on my show, which I think, oh yeah, both you and Roxy, they put on
That's
your ads.
awesome. I didn't know that. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Great, great, great. Well, so Cathy, tell me, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this question. I know you've been on the show with us so many times in the past, but I don't know if I've ever asked you what was your path leading up to what you're doing now, whether it be becoming a healer. What? Tell us a little bit about your story of becoming a shamanic healer.
Wow, I think you're born into it, and I think it's your life path. But when you go through it, you really don't realize you're going through it maybe till you're about 55. And you can look back at your life and you go, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. So I like to think I had 28 years of unconscious bliss where I didn't have to even pay attention to anything spiritual. And then when I woke, it was over. So they started me with doing energy work and just doing light circles. And I did that for a long, long time. And then I was allowed to discover the healing properties of an awesome stone called angelite, which is a mineral from South America. And I've had that stone get rid of burns and bruises overnight, heal cancers, tumors, cysts. You can put it in water and it'll slowly dissolve because it's a mineral. And if you drink the water, your bones will get stronger, your hair will actually get thicker and grow. And I'm 60 and my hair's, down to my rear and still growing, which is not normal these days.
Wow.
So if your hair stops growing, ladies and gentlemen, and you are mineral deficient, and angelite will really help you. So then I invented it, and I knew I had to make something out of the angelite, something more practical than just having a rock, and met my ex-husband, who was a tool. Oh, yeah, a dye engineer. Oh, come on, this is my story for the rest of my life,
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm going to have fun with it.
Absolutely.
But he's a tool and dye engineer. So after I met him, we invented these healing tools called angelite. I actually thought I could get out of doing healing work in this lifetime, and I'm sure the angels were rolling on the floor with that one. So after we invented the tools, I had to figure out how to use them, and it's just kind of grown. But I've also gone through a lot of experiences where I've had to acknowledge that darkness is real, that people can manipulate energy, that there are people out there that work with black magic. And again, when people are such your best teachers. When I met my ex-husband and we married, he came with baggage. His firstborn, who was in his 30s at the time, loved to practice black magic and really tried to kill us for 14 years. So everything I learned, I had to learn to stay alive and healthy and to protect everybody and the business. So everything I've learned actually works for everybody else. It's amazing. And you just kind of grow into what you are. I'm also the caretaker of a 1,000-pound Earthkeeper crystal, an celestial crystal in Hawaii, the largest crystal in Hawaii. And I know I've been trained in many, many lifetimes to be around that energy because I've had people try to even watch my store. And after, like one day at the store, kind of go a little off balance because, again, crystal energy will amplify where you're at. And I just don't have a crystal. I have a big energy vortex. I have a crystal store with lots of crystals, plus, my 1,000-pound crystal. And I have another Earthkeeper, which is 650 pounds. So Spirit tested me heavily throughout the years to make sure I could maintain balance. And they did that. I had a traveling rock shop when I first started. I know, it was called Crystals on Wheels.
I love it.
But I was in this little minivan, and it was loaded with crystals. So if I was going to go way off balance, it would have been then. And I think Spirit was really getting me ready for the Earth Keepers that I'm now the caretaker of. And I let everybody come and hug, by the way. And we do light circles, group work every Thursday night, which is service. So we'll meditate for about 5-10 minutes on the energy of love. And then we'll be the conduit for light. We'll bring in divine energy and do bubbles of light and put in there what needs to be healed. People, place, things, cutting darkness off from their energy supplies and really giving energy to everybody good. So I don't use the crystal for me at all.
Nice.
It's only for service work. I believe that and these are my beliefs, and this is what I walk, okay, that you don't charge for your spiritual gifts, and when you do your work, God will take care of you. Well, about 30 years ago, I actually put that concept into practice, and I went, okay, you mean if I do the work, you'll take care of me? So then I hitchhiked out west, and I went, okay, let's do it. And I hitchhiked out west to go see a spiritual person that I won't bring up because they weren't really one, but, learn by doing. And, I've learned over the years when I do my work, and this is why I don't ever charge for my gifts. People can leave me a donation. I'm on the humility program. I'll accept that, but it's not, you have to pay to play with me.
Right.
Because that means if I charged, that I'm only want people that can afford me. And that doesn't work for me. I cater to everybody. And I don't want anybody to not, feel they can't come in because they don't have any money in their pocket.
That's beautiful. And that's the way it should be, absolutely. That's one of my personal integrity, how shall we say, foundational practices.
And that's how it should be. And yes, I judge people on that. I really believe you shouldn't charge. And people don't understand. They go, well, how do you make a living? It's like, well, duh, I own a rock shop.
Right.
Yes, you can use the crystals, rocks, and stones for spiritual use, but you don't need them. You don't need it to evolve. It'll help you evolve. And the rocks and stones, it's like a science. If you look at everything that has energy and vibration, it is a science. And when you learn what that stone's energy and vibration is, then you have a tool to help you get through life without having to use drugs. If people would let kids carry hematite around with them, they probably wouldn't need Ritalin.
Yeah, you're right.
And also, oh God, it just kills me how they expect kids to be still.
Yeah.
And they don't teach them how to be still other than, oh my God, you've got a learning disorder. What do you know?
They're being kids.
They're kids.
Not to mention we have so many indigos and crystals incarnating right now that's just a part of their trait.
Oh, yes.
That is what I was told when I was in grade 1 or 2, that I had a learning disorder. I wasn't put on any meds because back then Ritalin was not known at all. Thank God.
Right.
Well, that's it. And even the adults I meet, they say, well, I have ADHD, like with pride.
I know. They wear it like a badge. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, well, then do something about it. And there's a very easy exercise people can do if they want to learn to focus. And I've done this, and I'm on the Learn by Doing program. So everything I teach, I've done, and I know it works. So you get a big mirror, and you get a little timer, and you put the timer on for 5 minutes, and you do this for 5 minutes every day. You sit in front of a big mirror, and you put the timer someplace where you're going to hear it go off, but not hear it go tick, 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 okay? So you sit in front of the mirror and all you do is stare at your forehead. And every time your mind wanders, you go up, forehead. Oh, but I've got to do dinner tonight. Up, forehead. Oh, but I want to go play. Up, forehead. And you'll start to see pictures. You might see teachers. What will happen is you're teaching yourself how to focus and how to be still. So you can go anywhere after that and be in a line with 1,000 people who are just crazy, and because, they don't like to be in line, whatever, and you are calm. You just stand there because you're still. You've learned to be still.
I have to jump in here because I'm having a flashback to a couple of weeks ago. I did a very similar exercise. Just in case people don't know, I do teach a class here every Thursday here in Roanoke called Earth Spirit. And we try to base it on meditation and energy work. But it was funny because about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I said, well, we're going to do a Zen concentration exercise very similar to what you're describing. And what I did was I gave them a mantra, and I think we just said, we probably used one love. I was just like, close your eyes and just keep repeating one love, one love, one love. And I've got to tell you, as part of the exercise, every 30 seconds, I would ring a bell. And they were supposed to, when they heard the bell, it was to bring their attention back, because I don't know if you know of the practice. I believe it's a Zen Buddhist that do it. They whack you on the back with a stick, every few minutes to make sure that you're paying attention to your thoughts or
I
have
think
control
the bell
over
is kinder.
Yes, I do too. But it was anyway. The point of this is that we would do this, and I asked everyone afterward. I was like, were you able to hold that thought, that just the word one love, for 30 seconds? And a majority of people said, please, by the time you rang the bell, I was somewhere else. I was doing groceries or thinking about what I had to do. It's amazing how our mind just wants to wander. It's amazing.
Well, you have to tell people that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And their mind is going to wander, and that they've got to be conscious and bring it back. But wow, what a wonderful exercise. But I have to say, one love is 2 words, honey.
Yeah, I know. too much, right?
Yes. For the
it might have
first
just been
exercise.
love. I don't know. It might have just been love, because that is our mantra for our intention circle. So, but anyway,
let it work up to 2 words, okay?
Start easy. How funny! But what a great exercise that you're sharing, to do it at home alone.
Well, again, and you can use this with kids. This is a great exercise for kids to teach them to be still and how to focus. And, I also teach this to teachers, that come into my store that have got a lot of kids.
Right.
And, they can't do a mirror, but they can sit down, and have everybody focus like you did, just for a minute or so. And it's a nice beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'll have to tell you that with my kids, with focus, when they were young, and God, I hope they don't write a book about me. I took hematite, which hematite will ground you. It's a stone. And it's very shiny, metallic gray. The guys love it. It's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
But it grounds you, so it helps you stay calm. It centers you. So I took a bunch of really small hematite, and I put it on tape, and I taped it to my kids' chairs at school. Teacher knew about it, of course, but it really helped them stay in body and focus. And, they were having a little bit of trouble because I had a Republican teacher who was pregnant, and I was a big peace activist, and boy, did they want to take it out on my kids.
Yeah.
So putting that hematite helped my son, stay much calmer. And thank God she went on pregnancy leave. Ooh. I couldn't get the hematite under her.
Right. You know what? I know that I have a question for you, because maybe having a rock shop, you sell the hematite rings that a lot of stores sell. And I've heard so many explanations for this, but let me ask you. Every time I buy a hematite ring, within 2 or 3 weeks, it literally shatters. And I've heard it's like, oh, well, the hematite is done working. You don't need it anymore. Or, oh, you just have too much energy. But I wonder if you've seen that or heard that of people with
Uh,
hematite rings and how they shatter and what you think is the cause.
Absolutely. Hematite will absorb negativity. So if you don't really clean the energies, when it takes on so much negativity, it won't feed it back to you. And a lot of times it'll self-destruct. So
Nice.
when it shatters, pay attention to what you're going through at the time. And I would rather say it's better the ring shattering than your body.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, this was in my 20s, so I had a lot of negativity.
Well, but it's even people, you can go through stress.
Yes, yes.
And, if you go through a lot of stress, again, the ring will, take it and just, shatter, which I consider it is a gift, and that stone just sacrificed itself for you.
Nice. Very nice. That explanation makes a lot of sense. I like that. Thank you.
Oh, I like it when I make sense.
Now, Cathy, you do a lot of different practices. Tell us some of the healing work that you do at your store. What are some of the techniques that you use?
Well, I use my angel light tools and love. I can do something as simple as just doing a little mini massage with my angel light tools can help you release your pain and stress. And then for those that want to go deeper, and we'll do this later, I do the energy balancing, opening up all your chakras, and then the curse removal. And for those that want to go deeper, I mean, the curse removal energy balancing takes about 10 minutes or less. And then I do shamanic soul retrievals, and that's taking back all your energy that you've given away or people have taken from you from all your incarnations. And I include a major curse removal and remove your mother's and father's overlay. It takes about an hour, and I've done that on your show.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because I think a couple weeks ago you had been posting that show. And it was that week that someone at one of my classes asked, "Do you know how to do shamanic soul retrieval?" I was like, "Oh, you've got to listen to this show."
Well, when I post it, I really get a lot of thank yous, and I had one person write me back, and they go, "Are you absolutely kidding me? People do this, the soul retrieval, and they charge thousands of
Yes.
dollars for it, and I gift it away."
Yes. Yes.
Well, if we're going to quantum leap into enlightenment, y'all need movement. So I'm being selfish. The clearer you are, the quicker we're going to quantum leap into enlightenment.
Exactly. Exactly. And I wonder where did I don't want to say the idea, but your mission to help the world quantum leap into divine enlightenment. What do you mean by that?
Well, have that one stamped on your soul, okay? No frustration there. It's when I woke spiritually and understood that I wasn't here just to get off the planet, that I was here to help things shift. And then it just grew from there, and I really understood what I was here for. So I believe that there's two prophecies out there. You've got the Armageddon prophecy, which is gloom and doom, and I consider that the one of Satan, the satanic prophecy.
Yeah.
And then you have the Hopi and the indigenous prophecy of enlightenment, where we've got 26,000 years of golden age of peace and harmony ahead of us. So which one is everybody going to give energy to? Armageddon, which doesn't work well for me, or enlightenment, which is our destiny? So I like to believe I help people remember what they're here for, and to remember to keep focus, because every breath that leaves you goes somewhere, either goes to supporting darkness or light. So be conscious of your thoughts, and that's a mastership. But every breath, your anger goes somewhere, your joy goes somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm like a pioneer. I like to say I'm so far out there that people support me because they're happy just not to be me.
You know, and it's funny because there are so many. I think there are probably many of us on the planet that have this calling, you know, this need to help humanity evolve forward. But we're going to talk about that in after the break. We've only got about 30 more seconds before the break. But let me just remind everybody that if you're interested to learn more about Cathy Bilsky and her shop, and maybe even, you know, order something from her, you can find her at www.angellighteom.com, ANGELITEOM.com. And I believe we're going to go on a break right now. Yes, in a few seconds. But when we return, I do want to talk to you more about this whole idea of the entire planet shifting and moving forward. We'll be right back.
And now, back to your host, Bernard Alvarez.
Welcome back to the Just Bernard Show here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. And we are speaking with Cathy Bilsky today about everything. But I also want to acknowledge the fact that it is our 5th anniversary of the Global Illumination Council, and we're kind of using this show as a celebration of the work that we have done over the past 5 years. And Cathy's work is definitely in alignment with our work as well. Before I get, actually, Cathy, you can jump into this conversation. I want to share this that I'm looking at right now. I'm on the G.I.C., the Global Illumination Council Facebook page, and some person, I'll just put their initials SC, says, Fifth Dimension, are you a part of the Illuminati agenda or against it? Blasphemy and ignorance, carry on. So I write back. I had to, this was during the commercial, I had to write back, and I usually don't mess with trolls, but I was wondering if you agree with this. The Illuminati agenda is to keep us prisoners in the 3D paradigm. If you believe ascension and awareness is evil, then you are the one giving in to the agenda. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And when they do that, you know they work for the other side.
Yeah.
I was sitting at home praying the other day, and I put it out there and I said, okay, God, take me to the next level. Whatever that is, let's go there. Next thing I know, I'm studying the Illuminati in Hollywood, the Illuminati in the music industry, the Illuminati in rhythm and blues. And if you say Illuminati, you might as well say satanic and Lucifer, because the Illuminati is satanic and they worship Lucifer. So we're talking about satanic beings that are controlling the planet and want to take over the world with their one world government. And they want a new world order, cancel, clear, mm-hmm. And the one world church they want to make will, of course, will be satanic Catholicism.
Yeah.
So none of that works for me. And so while I'm watching this, it is amazing, Bernard, how many entertainers sell their souls to the devil for fame and fortune.
Yep.
It's scary. I mean, as I'm studying this, and you know, Spirit had me write some prayers, of course, and you watch enough of these videos, and certain things just pop out at you that you cannot not see anymore. And part of dark magic is putting veils out over people and being invisible so people don't see you. They see you, but they don't see you. Mm-hmm. So you have, and the Illuminati, it's like any group, they're a secret organization. So they've got their secret hand signs and signals that they use and handshakes. And they're very blatant if you understand what to look for. I just got very angry, especially when I got into the music industry. These guys are brilliant. They have taken what I would do for light, and of course they're misusing it for darkness. I always had the idea that if there were people that were entertainers in the music industry that were of light, at the end of the concert, you've got all this positive energy going. And if they would take that at the end of the concert and send it to the 7 darkest spots on the planet, how incredible would that be?
Wow, yeah.
Okay. Well, instead, these guys that are satanic and these entertainers, they're satanic puppets. Remember, they've sold their soul. So now they've got to do whatever it takes to make the money for the devil, okay, and to put out subliminals, and all this stuff. So one of the big ones that is putting out really dark stuff is Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah.
And what he'll do, and one of the satanic symbols for the Illuminati is if you put your hands together and you form a pyramid. So he has, in his concert, he has everybody putting their hands up in the air and waving it around, and they have no clue that they're making that sign to Satan. So they are amplifying that satanic energy.
Now, let me ask you something about all of this, Cathy, because I am someone who, and like yourself, I believe that there is good magic and there is black magic. I've seen that pyramid symbol used in Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Roanoke, Occupy Hawaii, and it means point of order or something like that. I forgot what it is, like stay on track or something like that. But is it fair to say, though, that, okay, maybe because Jay-Z is the one doing it, that he's utilizing that energy, but that particular symbol could be used for good if it was induced by someone with a good intention?
Anything can be used for good or evil, even a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? My light work can.
Right, of course.
We're going through some of the Illuminati symbols that they use
to
amplify Satan. Now, Kanye West is a sweetheart, and all these people that sign with Jay-Z, they sign their souls to Satan. You can become, part of his corporation and company. But you got to sign your soul away. So Kanye West, what he does is he has people do the sign of the devil, the Diablo sign. And he'll put that out in his concert. Yeah, everybody, put your hand up and do this. Oh, yeah. Let's give a bit. But, let's... And they say they sold their souls to the devil.
Yeah. And you know what? It's very funny because I just want to bring up here that we just had Terry Joyce on the show last week. And Terry Joyce was a Hollywood comedian. She was on Last Comic Standing. She knows the inner circles of Hollywood, and she was even saying how some of her comedian friends were saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to an Illuminati party," and just like totally, "Oh yeah, they're so cool. Oh, if you get with them, you'll get better contracts, better shows, this and that." So it's kind of like a known thing in Hollywood. To the entertainer, I guess. Maybe not necessarily to the public.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you want to become famous, you are going to have to sign. It is harder, Bernard, to find people that have not signed their soul away. And one of the ways you can tell that they don't belong to the club is that the Illuminati tries to destroy them.
Yeah.
And ruin their careers. And that's really sad. Because, boy, I'd like to pull those people together because they're all fighting this alone.
Look what they did to Michael Jackson. I mean...
Yes.
Right, great example.
Yes. And when you understand the Illuminati and what Michael was saying, he was doing the video, where he was grabbing his crotch.
Right. They don't care about us.
Right.
Yep.
And that was his FU to the Illuminati.
Yep.
Except back then, we're all going, now, why is Michael grabbing his crotch? Well, we didn't didn't understand. He was saying, screw you guys. You don't own me.
Yep. Exactly.
And wow, and again, you can see what they did to him, and it's a pattern that they will do to the other entertainers who try to buck them. And oh my God, all you have to do is punch in an entertainer's name on YouTube, then put in Illuminati, then see what comes up.
Oh, yeah.
And if they've done, the Illuminati secret hand signals, which they will do just to say, hey, I belong to the club. So now I started looking, I go, okay, well, now how does this affect country western? So if you look at your album covers on all your albums that you have, you will see the Illuminati signs. So if you see an artist that's only showing half of their face, that means, and a lot of times they'll only show one eye. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the all-seeing eye. Or, it's shaded in some way, one of their eyes. In the country western, they got hats.
Right. So they get that nice shadow effect.
They just pull that hat down over the eye, and there you go. You think they're cool, and you don't even think about it. Or you'll see a sun in the background, or the reference to a sun, because Lucifer they considered the light.
Yeah,
and they worship the sun.
For those of us who have been involved in the occult, I'm an out of the closet magical practitioner, and everybody knows that I've been involved in the occult for many years. Again, things can be used for negative or positivity, but what I was taught when I was doing my studies, and it was merely just for study purposes, I never got involved with Lucifer or anything like that. I was actually reading a book, Aradia, and it was from a Tuscan witch wrote it back in the 1800s or something like that. I would guess it was like gypsy magic or something from northern Italy. And their explanation of Lucifer was the light bringer, the light bearer. And the reason why they called it that is that they would call Venus Lucifer, the morning star, because Venus is the first thing you see at twilight in the morning. Not twilight, I guess at dawn. The only star you would still see on the horizon would be Venus. But back in the Greek days or Roman days or whatever, that it was Lucifer, the light bearer, who brought the light. And their I guess, I don't want to say excuse, but their reason for seeing him as something positive was that I forgot what it was, that he brought knowledge. Well, first of all, he went against God in the Bible, right? I think what's the biblical story of Lucifer again? He rebelled against God. He didn't want to listen to God.
He was God's favorite angel.
Exactly.
Okay? And he rebelled. God sent Michael the archangel in and kicked Lucifer out of heaven. Now, I just want to pause right here, and I want to have a little talk with God, shall we? So what I see here, we need a little intervention. So God the Father got mad at his son Lucifer, who he really spoiled because he made him his favorite because he was beautiful, right? Spoiled him rotten.
Right.
So Lucifer got out of hand and decided, like any kid would, I'm better than Dad. I'm taking over. God gets pissed, throws the kid out of the house, right? He gets sent down to earth. Now, I got to say something, God. You got to take him back. Lucifer is your kid, and like any good parent, you teach us about forgiveness. Well, you need to get him off the planet. He is not our problem. You're making him our problem. So take him off the planet, and I'm sure you got a little spot up in heaven for a little, timeout time. And take him back, okay? I don't think that's asking much to you, Bernard.
Kiss and make up, absolutely. And it's funny because as you're saying this, I'm thinking about the how shall we say, the ancient alien mythology version of all this. is, first of all, I love source. I love God, goddess, whatever you want to call it. I love the light of the world. I love energy. But this Yahweh guy has got a freaking attitude problem. And, and, and if he's having a fight with one of his buddies and he threw him down here to cause havoc on us, he needs to take him back to their planet. That's the way I look at it.
It's not a buddy. It's his kid.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Am I seeing wrong here? You're teaching us about forgiveness. Well, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show us your heart. Take the kid back. Oh, you can take all his followers too.
Yeah,
We're
please take the
about,
followers. That's where you got to take the followers.
They complain about overpopulation. Well, if God will take the followers back, whoa, no overpopulation, huh? Because we're kind of the underdogs in all this. It is so sad out there. I mean, and let's get back to the entertainers and they're doing, because people have got to be aware of the subliminal stuff that they're putting out there and going around and throwing out the long ear horns. The sign of the Diablo. That means you belong to the satanic club. And don't let your kids do it.
I know. I remember when I was growing up, that just meant heavy metal,
Yeah. Right. Well,
but it's funny. I want to acknowledge something here. I don't know if anybody's noticed. Speaking of entertainers, because when I was growing up, Ozzy Osbourne did that, but now recently, Ozzy is extending his thumb to make the "I love you" symbol. So. Is he getting away from Sharon's Illuminati, influence, or what's going on?
He's got to do a little bit more than that, okay? They just really ruin music and movies. So now I watch movies and I play this game. If everybody wants to play the game, and the game I play is how many Illuminati symbols can you see and sign can you now see in the movie and recognize? And it'll blow you away. You see a black and white checkerboard floor, Illuminati.
And that's where, it's funny you're mentioning that. I just watched, I had my little Netflixing escapade a couple days ago. I finally had a day off. I think it was on Sunday. And I started watching this show. I like British shows, okay? I don't know why I prefer British shows. I think they're more like cerebral or something. But it was a show called Apparitions. And it's a miniseries. It's a 12-part miniseries about an exorcist from the Vatican. And he's constantly, being attacked by demons, and he's constantly basically what he did.
I have to say, duh.
Yeah. Well, basically, the synopsis of the show is that he reveals satanic conspiracy in the Vatican. Duh. But yes, the checkerboard floor was a lot of the image in that particular show.
What they do, though, is they put this stuff out there right in our face. So when we see it, we go, oh, no, it's just a story. It couldn't be true. It's just TV, right?
Tell us some of the, let's say you are watching a show. What are some of the things that you've seen that you've acknowledged as a symbol?
Oh, God, the devil horns is a big one. I mean, I've even seen them on TV, flashing it in TV shows. Really sad. And then there's those that, where they wear the red string around their hands, their arms. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of that is, and goes back to Kabbalah. And boy, I don't have a lot of respect toward Kabbalah at all. It's so misused.
Yes, it is.
And what they do with the string is that if it's something woven, they'll pray in the string and they'll pray in demons to go with the string. So when you see those stars, okay, with that little red string, and it could be a red bracelet, it could be a red anklet. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, they got demons attached to them. Isn't that warm and fuzzy?
All right.
So yeah, I encourage everybody to even go on YouTube because you see what happens. And go watch Taylor Swift's YouTube video because she's a very good example of what happens to when you're in the Illuminati, and they put it right in your face when you go through the initiation. So they do a video of her first where she's all in white. All right. She's pure. She's a virgin. White. And then maybe a couple months later, you're going to see her in another video after she's done the initiation. And now she's dressed really sexy, kind of whorish, in like black and red, which is some Illuminati colors, okay, that they've changed. And in her video, she has these people dancing around her that are, like in a masquerade ball. Well, now I have to say, Bernard, I'm really not in the loop. So all I can do is share with you what I've read because I've not actually gone to these. But from my understanding is when they do their orgies, a lot of times they have these balls and everybody wears masks.
Yeah, they do.
So here she is right out in front now dancing in this ball, and they are symbolizing that, she done did it and she is ours because she's not pure anymore. And then you can take listen to Beyonce, and oh my God, she'll come. Now these people though, they're artists. They feel and they really believe in their heart that they get their energy from Satan and that they can't do what they do unless that power from Satan comes into them. And I have to say, I kind of have that same attitude, but I do it with God and I qualify what comes into me. I want it in the absolutely highest, in the light of God. And, then you still get that energy. You don't have to sell your soul to get it, but that's what they believe.
Well, I mean, anyone who has done any type of research on Satanism or Luciferian cults or anything like that, it's what Lucifer did. It's rebelling against God. And that's what they're doing. They're rebelling against the idea of this one God that is going to provide them, with love and, all of this. And it's just funny from an occult point of view because, okay, anyway, we got to cut to a break. We'll be back and we'll talk some more. We'll be right back.
And now, back to your host, Bernard Alvarez.
Welcome back to the Just Bernard Show here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. What a great, fantastic conversation we are having with Cathy Bilsky. Before the break, I was starting to make a comment and we got cut off, and I wanted to pick up where I left off, and it kind of exemplifies the immaturity and the low vibration that Cathy Bilsky is talking about here with some of these entertainers. I was talking about like Luciferianism and Satanism and how it's really just a rebellion against the church. And the thing is, though, and I want our listeners to understand, is that, first of all, you have to subscribe to that Judeo-Christian belief system in order to be a Satanist. As someone who is not Judeo-Christian, I don't subscribe to it. So for me, the idea of Lucifer and Satan is another form of dark magic, black magic. But it just goes to show you that these people aren't thinking very clearly and not thinking for themselves.
They're not, and you're absolutely right. But they're allowing.
Yes.
Okay. And if you watch Beyonce and her videos, you will see when this devil, this dark energy, literally comes into her, and she changes into what she calls, she even gives her other, this other person, she becomes a name, and she calls it Sasha Fierce. And
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, she's just, when this evil thing comes into her, she is just down ugly. Um, and it's scary, very scary. But the energy that they're putting out, and our kids are listening to this stuff. Another one that's out there I want to talk about just briefly is Katy Perry. And she says many times to become famous, she sold her soul to the devil. And she had this young girl call in. Okay, she was doing a call in, and the young girl goes, well, how do you become famous? And Katy Perry goes, well, I wanted to be like Amy Grant, and it didn't happen, so I sold my soul to the devil. Yep. Sad, sad. And you'll even watch her where she was this little innocent girl. And then the next thing I know, she's this super Trampus. Yeah. And the one that really shoved it in my face was Miley Cyrus and the music awards that she did. They did a ritual to Kali.
Yes, yes. I saw something very similar to that, yeah. I mean, I didn't watch it. I didn't pay attention to it much. I found it, like, ridiculous, and she's just out of control. But I see what you mean. There was a lot of dark stuff going on there.
It was ritual. She isn't out of control. She knows what she's doing. She's an adult. And so does her father, who belongs to the Illuminati, of course. Right. And so does Dolly Parton. These guys have gotten famous by selling their souls to the devil. And by not naming names, it's protecting them because they want to be invisible. Well, stop giving them business. Look at your album covers on your records and on your CDs. So, we were talking about some of the signs, and I want to go over just a little bit on some of the things you need to look for, if I can.
Yes, please.
So we'll just take album covers. So if you see anywhere on the album cover an obelisk, a dome, an eye, like the all-seeing eye, okay, or a triangle, or a pyramid of some kind. And they do this very, very slyly. And again, it's subliminal. So you might see like 3 guys in a group or 3 women, and you'll see them standing, like 1 at the top and then 2 below. They're forming a triangle. Or Celine Dion, as she stands, okay, the way she stands, her legs form a triangle.
Right.
If you see the 5-pointed star, black and white checkerboard squares. Okay, anything that alludes to masquerade, the masquerade mask. A lot of them will wear a mask over one eye.
Exactly.
Illuminati, Satanist.
And unfortunately, and again, we talk about this on our show all the time, these are not evil symbols in and of themselves. They have been perverted, they have been stolen and used for dark energies.
Oh, absolutely. And another one is a simple black hat. Now, a black hat in itself is not bad. But when you understand that they're using it as a Illuminati subliminal, well, it changes it entirely. And then you've got, again, one eye that's covered, whether it's from shading in or a hand over one eye, or there's a really famous one of Michael when he was very, very small, and he's got the sign of the 666 made with his hands, and that's doing the okay sign, okay? Except you put the last 3 fingers up a little bit more, and that just means 666. And you're just thinking, oh, Michael's got the okay sign on over his eyes. He is saying, I'm Illuminati, satanic owned.
Right, right.
And what does that say about his parents?
Well, if you knew anything about his family, his father was a crazy man.
Well, exactly. This is child abuse at its highest.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of like laughing at something here because the one thing I've heard growing up, and the one thing I was taught growing up, was all like, heavy metal is the devil's music. Look at all these symbols. And back when I was young, I was really heavy into the Norwegian black metal scene, which that scene was full of these, what I call fake satanic bands, which use the stolen Christian symbols of upside down crosses and reverted pentagrams, and band members covered in black and white corpse paint and holding knives with blood on it. And I was like taught, that's evil, listen to these bands, the ones that you're talking about, Cathy. These are the good guys. And I'm like, well, these, I think it's like the exact.
I'm getting what you're saying, Trevor, and it's funny how how a parent could easily fall into that trap of, okay, these people are singing about anarchy or freedom and this or that, and they're using all these horrible symbols, but the parent is like, oh no, please listen to Beyonce, she's pure, or whatever. I can see where a parent could fall into that trap.
But you're supposed to. They use those symbols with intent and purpose, Trevor. They knew what they were doing, and they were saying back then, we sold our soul to Satan. All right, and I'm glad, if your parents kept you away, good for them. They were doing their job. And it's just continue. They were also saying, it's like, hey, Jay-Z has been putting up, he's not the first one that's been putting up that pyramid sign with his hands. You go back to rhythm and blues, and you can catch Aretha Franklin splashing that sign.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's like gang symbols. That's what it reminds me of. It's
but they belong to the gang of Satan.
Right. They belong to this dark gang,
Very dark, okay?
And they're not the only ones. We could spend another 4 hours going on about the government, about symbolism in D.C. and all the capitals of the world, from London to the Vatican to,
Oh, but this is important because people need to see, and these are the same signs.
Yep.
When you see, again, a shape of a pyramid, and then reverence or the sun on their album cover. The sun means the light bearer, Lucifer. Okay. Where they show a rainbow. Okay, well, rainbows.
Say, hey, now, I just went to gay pride. I don't want to hear that.
All right, but in their language, okay, it means drugs. Okay.
Oh, that's a new one. I have never heard that before. That's very interesting.
Okay. Stick with me. And it changes really totally over the rainbow, huh?
Right, exactly.
And the Wizard of Oz. But you wonder why some of them sing this song, and they sing the same songs, okay? When you see a reference to the Rain Man, or they're dancing to the Rain Man and singing to the Rain Man is another reference and secret code for devil. So they are calling out to the devil.
I have heard of that.
Yeah, a lot of them do it. A lot of them. Ooh, you're singing to the Rain Man too. How interesting.
That is. Well, we've definitely established here that a lot of our entertainers and a lot of the symbolism and the work that they do, the videos that they put out, the stories that are being told on these music videos, are basically them just putting it in your face. I'm a member of a dark black magic club. Exactly.
Yes. But they're also putting out that subliminal.
Well, that's it. That's the point. It's being done subliminally, and people and the youth are eating it up. They're spending millions of dollars, and not even realizing that they're just supporting the dark cabal. The dark cabal.
Exactly. Or these entertainers are putting out a clothing line with the dark symbolism on them. And they don't wear these clothes themselves, but they want everybody else to, because when you put that out, you are subliminally, again, promoting Satan, and you don't even know it. And my friend and I don't, she was like running through Macy's, not shopping there, just, to get somewhere else. And she goes, they've got Illuminati shirts in Macy's.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Listen, that is. I was very, very entrenched in the fashion industry in Miami Beach back in the 80s and 90s, and the satanic vibe there is out of control. The whole fashion world has this very dark, strange sense of humor, the sense a sense of elitism, a sense of what's that word I'm looking for? Where they deserve, people that believe that the entitlement. Thank you. This idea of entitlement, and very strange. I mean, the fashion shows that I've seen did have goat masks and all these weird, strange symbolism.
Getting back to the goat mask,
Yeah.
okay, the goat is another representation of Baphomet, the head devil. Okay,
To
so
the Illuminati, because it's a
to the
very recent symbol actually.
that's the Illuminati. And
So
my God, you go back to one of the old movies, and with Dan Aykroyd, and they did a whole thing on a satanic. Oh my God, satanic worshipers, and I mean the whole movie was full of Illuminati symbolism. Yeah, and we think when you don't know any better that it's just entertainment. And now I go back and I'm going, oh my God. Do you remember the movie They Live?
yeah, that was a great movie.
Right. Well, this guy gets a pair of these really cool sunglasses, and when he puts them on, he starts to see all those that are, we'll just say, alien or, satanic. Because it wasn't interesting that when he saw, he would see a skeleton. And, he would understand that these people were not right, and they were, against everything the earth stood for. Very symbolic to what we're going through now. And when you put on those glasses or, take the veils off,
Take the
and
red
you
pill.
start to see, it is spooky. I had someone try to get on my Facebook page called Kaiser Soze. Now, do you remember that movie?
What? Kaiser Soze? No.
It was a very dark movie, and the character was Kaiser Soze, and he was a very hidden character, very mean. He killed people, and nobody could catch him. So here this guy is trying to present himself as Kaiser Soze. You think I'm going to make you my friend? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay attention to what people put out there. And now I'm actually going through, I've gotten rid of every single entertainer off my Facebook list because they're my adversaries.
Yeah,
they worship Satan. And I would post what I do on their wall, and I couldn't understand why they were letting me. Duh. I couldn't understand why none of them would help me quantum leap the world into enlightenment. Slap my head.
Right. You're just giving them information on what the good guys are doing.
Well, I was working on the Yosemite fire. I could only get it down. And I don't mean me, but with group energy, we got it down to 80%, and we couldn't get it past 80%.
Oh,
and I couldn't figure out why, because, we kept going every day. They would gain greater control of the fire, and then it held. And then I realized all these guys are satanic, and you're using your magic against me. You want that fire to blaze. You don't want me to be successful, so people can understand what they can do with their thoughts when we pull them together and with their creative abilities.
jeez.
So as soon as I backed away from it and stopped, even putting my attention there, and got all these guys off of my page and blocked them, they started getting containment of the fire again.
Good.
I even had one of the entertainers try to send his kid in to become my friend. And I'm telling you, block, the power to block use it. I don't even hesitate anymore.
Yeah, me too. And you know what? Let me just bring this up is that people believe that just because Facebook is the internet or it's just a social thing, you know what? There is an energy connection. There is. There's an energy connection in their words, in their pictures, and in their presence. I'm sure that many of us, you know, we all have an emotional reaction to what's being said, what pictures we see. That is the energy connection. So don't think just because you're online, they can't hurt you as far as like using dark magic or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely. You're putting your face right out there.
Yes, absolutely.
And I will tell you, when you see me put dolphins out, okay, and you don't see my crystal, I'm hiding.
Oh, good.
Okay, I don't want them, you know, I know Spirit said take the picture off because they're trying to misuse the crystal and hurt me. And
oh, yeah. Exactly. I can see how that connection can be made. Somebody, recently we had a discussion on Facebook about how words just themselves are power, are energy. So it's a very, how should I say, an important aspect of all of this that people need to realize as far as, you know, what you're seeing, what you're reading, and what you're saying. Just like you said earlier in the show, what are you saying? What are you thinking? What are you putting out there?
Well, it's the power of the spoken word. It's creation. And it's having a mastership of your mind.
Yep.
When you realize what comes out, what you're saying. And thank God, God gives us a little bit of grace on our words, or we'd be manifesting all kinds of really crappy crap.
Yep. I had a wonderful, back in the 90s when I was getting ready to basically start doing what I'm doing now. I was at a point where I was ready to have a wonderful instructor, and he was a Wiccan high priest. Actually, wasn't even Wiccan; it was just a pagan high priest. And he taught me. He said, "Your words are your wand," and that saying stuck with me all through these years. Your words are your wand. Every word you say is a spell. That's why we call it spelling.
Yes. I agree. And that's why you're on radio, and so am I.
Yes. And that's why we're on radio together today.
Yeah.
And we only use our words for good.
Absolutely.
I myself, even when I'm at work, I'm always finding myself trying to choose my words carefully. And even if for some reason I have to use a word I don't like, I usually tell people, you know, I really want to use this word. And when you said words is your wand, it kind of reminded me what I see people like saying this about themselves all the time, and it kind of like it's very bothersome. I'm only going to use the chat abbreviation because I know we're pretty much not allowed to say this on the
yes, for PG. Okay.
on the radio is when I see, even when I hear them say it in person and on the internet, when people use the term FML all the time. It's like when I see that, I think, do they know the power behind those words, and do they know what they're doing?
What's the last letter stand for? Is the last letter a bad word?
My life?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm just wondering, do these people know the power behind these words, and do they realize what they're doing to themselves?
Yes,
no,
exactly.
They don't. They do not, because it's not taught. If it was taught, this is sharing the sacred truths. This is what we're teaching people. When we're discussing everything today, we are teaching the sacred truths. We're teaching the power of the spoken word.
Yeah.
And people aren't. They're not. They don't do classes. This is the stuff that the Illuminati and Satanist people do not want us to teach, nor other people to have, because then they can counter them and neutralize them.
Cathy, I have a really important question for you, and this is kind of a personal question. A few years ago, I went on this kick, and actually it's probably the correct kick. So let me ask you what you think about this. I gave up cursing, and the reason why I said I gave up cursing is that is exactly what it is. They call it cursing for a reason. Now, as of late, I'm using a few more curse words, but I will say I'm not doing FML or I'm not doing FU or anything like that. I'll do the AH word or something like that. I think I posted the AH word on G.I.C. the other day, but or SHIT or whatever. But as far as like these words, F you or F me or anything like that, that would still be kind of like a curse, is it not?
Well, it is, but okay, I'm going to give you a woman's point of view on that one, all right? Because
Yeah.
I am one. And I have learned over the years that when you use the F word, it really gets a man's attention.
Yes, it does.
Okay? It's like, ooh, she's
It's like using the
pissed.
C word on a woman.
Yeah, well, yeah, that really is. And yeah. Um, although I have heard another definition for that, and that was way back, way, way, way. It was another word for queen. So think of that one.
Yes.
But so I will use it. I don't have a problem every now and then. It lets people know I don't say fuck you. Oops, F you. If I just throw out the F word.
Right.
But I don't ever say F my life. Oh, no, 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 no. That's like telling spirit, oh, I'm bored.
Yeah.
They go, oh, she's bored. Well, hey, guys, come on. Let's think of things to send her, So, yeah. But again, we're teaching sacred truths.
Yeah, the power of the spoken word.
Yeah. And removing the veils. When we share these symbols and talk about these symbols, and the more we do it, the more people are going to get it and they're going to stop supporting. And hopefully when you see these symbols, neutralize it. Neutralize the energy.
Exactly. And if anything, I would like our listeners to be very aware of where these symbols are coming from. Now that we've acknowledged that they are being used by dark forces or the Illuminati or Satanists or anything like that, keep an eye out for the people that are using it correctly and learn to tell the difference. Because
Yes.
I post pentagrams all the time. I post yin yangs all the time. I post pyramids all the time. I post the evil eye all the time. When it's being used correctly, it is to protect. It is being used to enhance our spirit. Whereas when the Illuminati or the Satanists use it, it's to really lower our vibration and keep us in this. I hate to use the AJ definition of a prison planet, and that's what they've created.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
And while we're talking about that, and I'm just going to cover this for 2 seconds. Oh no, actually we have about 5 more minutes. I didn't realize we had so long. But there are many other ways that we're being suppressed, okay? And it's not just the Illuminati, but that can be a whole nother show.
Well, right. This is what we need to talk about,
Yes,
the Illuminati.
absolutely.
And we need to talk about Satan and Lucifer because they are all the same energy.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand. And you throw out the word Illuminati, and again, they love to play with words because you think of Illuminati, oh, light, illuminate.
Well, look at us. We're called the Global Illumination Council, and we use the word definitively the correct way. However, we have these trolls that think, "Oh, you're the Illuminati." No, we're stealing the word back. We're taking the word back.
Right. But I also, I look at what people do. I go through their sites now and I'll look at the books they read. I look at the groups they belong to. And if it's dark, they're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
There's too many people out there. I don't know these people. Who are they to me?
The gentleman that I spoke of earlier when I said that, that we had a troll on the site and I had to, let him know that, if you're falling for the idea that ascension is an evil thing, you're falling for the Illuminati. I went on his page and he belongs to like the Playboy Club, the Penthouse Club, he's got nothing but like, strippers on his site.
Well, then I hope you blocked them.
Oh, not yet. But thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. No problem. I'm really good at it now. It's just, I'm sorry, it's disgusting. It's everywhere. My God, my favorite musician of all time is Kenny Loggins, and I got every album he has, and I went, I'm going to see if Kenny is one. And by God, I found the album. I can even name the album. It's called Avalon, Back to Avalon. I hated that album. And it shows him half-faced with this really crazy-ass pompadour hairdo. And I hated the album, and I'm thinking, oh, now I know why.
Yeah.
But man, and when you go to the country western people, and these people that are satanic, and they're putting out supposedly gospel music, well, honey, they ain't singing to the God of light.
Yeah. It's a perversion. That's true
It's a
Satanism.
perversion. But you step back and it's like smack my head.
Yeah.
Cancel clear, okay? And I love to use the cancel clear because, again, this is the power of the spoken word, because I don't want anybody to come and smack my head, okay? So I don't want to put that energy out, and it was just a little, but you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. And let me just say something about all of these entertainers, and this is what saddens me. And I even think about this with even President Obama, of how these people are being manipulated. Sometimes they don't even know they're being manipulated. Sometimes they are just so desperate for attention, so desperate for power, so desperate for numbers and sales and whatnot, that they do these, like you said, symbolic album covers or things.
No. You sign. They know what they're doing.
Yes, yeah. Well, they knew they were signing. A lot of them don't know what they signed on to, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. And you get sucked into it, and when you try to leave, they try to destroy your career, and they try to destroy you, everything. They get pissed.
Well, Cathy, we're going to take our last break for the show. Gosh, the show is going by so quickly. Hopefully when we come back, we can do some positive energy work.
Well, we will shift. I thought we'd talk about all this and get it all out of the way, and then do the curse removal.
Yeah, let's do a curse removal. We'll be right back.
And now, back to your host, Bernard Alvarez.
Welcome back to the Just Bernard Show here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. We are having a really, really fantastic conversation with a shamanic healer and radio host here on Revolution Radio, Cathy Bilsky. Before we get back into the conversation, let me make a few announcements so I don't forget. I just want to let everybody know that, of course, we are celebrating our 5th anniversary at the Global Illumination Council, which is my home community and organization, and what produces and funds the work that we do here on the radio show, and as well as our videos, classes, and our blog and community and whatnot. But we are celebrating our 5th anniversary this Saturday, and I just wanted to invite all of you to a cyber party. What's a cyber party? A cyber party is where we play fantastic music videos. We all hang out in the chat, grab a drink, grab a bottle of champagne. I know I will. And we just hang out. Of course, I will be doing our annual State of G.I.C. address that day. That'll be this Saturday. I believe it's at 4 in the afternoon, Trevor. I'm not sure if you know, but it's sometime in the afternoon. But you can find out more on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Global Illumination Council. Next week here on Revolution Radio, I'm going to be doing another one of our Lightworker series called Walking the Talk. Are we walking the talk? Are we activists? Are we lightworkers? Are we aware? What can we do to walk the talk and literally live what we believe? And I feel there's a big disconnect with what we say and what we do. So walking the talk is about integrity. Walking the talk is about doing what you say, following through on not purchasing GMO foods, following through on not buying that Beyonce album, following through on your integrity and your convictions. And we're going to be talking about that next week here on Revolution Radio. As well, let me just announce also, we've recently confirmed A wonderful guest will be joining us on October 8th from 2 to 4 p.m. From Egypt, if I'm not mistaken. She is Patricia Awan, and she is the leader of what is the exact word I'm looking for here? The Kemetic school of ancient mysticism. If we want to talk about the good guys or the good occultists, the good practitioners of ancient mysticism, you want to listen to the show. She is going to be speaking on a lot of the ancient mysticism that was basically destroyed by the modern church, basically being hidden from us for 2,000 years now, practically. And probably one of the reasons why we are living the way that we live. So this is one of the good guys that we definitely want to listen to and hear what she has to say on chematology. For those of you that don't know, I believe that the religion of ancient Egypt was the Kemet religion, if I'm not mistaken. It's linked to what the Dogon practice. So if you know anything about the Dogon, or would like to learn more about ancient Egyptian mysticism, join us on October 8th. With all of that being said, one last announcement, and we'll get Cathy back on the line here. We also want to invite you all to our wonderful annual pledge drive, and it's not your typical telethon. It will be live on G.I.C. TV, but we are going to have amazing speakers. We've got Miriam Delicato coming on. We've got Terry Joyce, the cannabis activist. We have got Revolution Radio's Roxy Lopez, and I will be filming our new series live. Our new series is called Contradiction. If those of you who don't know, you can come to the GIC.org. I believe it's the first post on the upper left-hand side talking about it, Contradiction. And it's going to be an 8-week series discussing basically a lot of the things that we talk about here. Our first show is going to be on, are we really ready to ascend? Are we really ready for telepathy? Is humanity ready to become one human family? And that will be our first show. However, you can watch the entire series filmed live during the GIC pledge drive on October 12th. Roxy and I will be doing the filming at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Terry Joyce will be on at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and Miriam Delicato will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's going to be a great day of wisdom, documentaries, fun. We'll be playing everything from music videos to documentaries, teaching videos, and of course, all to help raise funds for us for the next year at the Global Illumination Council. But again, it's going to be some great people speaking. So let's get back to the conversation. I know, Trevor, I'm seeing what you're posting now. I'm looking at the album covers of the Avett Brothers. I think they're safe. I do. Cathy, do you know anything about the Avett Brothers? Do you have any Illuminati connections to them or anything that we need to know about?
No,
Okay.
I have no clue. Sorry.
Oh,
darling.
good. Okay. I did.
Yeah, everybody thinks I'm an expert. They go, "What about this one?" It's like, I don't know. I've sent you a few. Yeah, go look them up for yourself. Hear the signs, look at the videos, and go. You'll find out. And the odds are like 99% that they are.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But let me ask you a really good question. For those of us, okay, listen, I'm from the 80s. I still like some Madonna. Is there a safe way to listen to Madonna? Is being aware of her craziness good enough?
It is just, what are you going to, I said they've ruined music for me. I don't have all the answers, although I won't go to their concerts.
Right.
I won't
buy their
buy
album,
their
right.
music, but there's, plenty other ways to get her music if you really need it. And there's a few songs I like of hers, but when I listen to them, it's like, what are you really talking about? Who are you
about the old stuff? I like Holiday and Starlight, Starbright.
Okay, let's go just to Starlight, Starbright.
Okay, good example.
Okay. Okay. That one just says, oh God, right to Lucifer, starlight, starlight. Okay. Oh, Madonna. But then she's a queen.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the queens, that's for sure. Absolutely.
Ew.
Okay.
Oh.
Anyway, so tell us a little bit about your work in doing curse removal. First of all, why would people need it, and how does somebody know if it would be a good idea for them to do a curse removal exercise with you?
Well, if you're alive, you probably need it.
Okay.
I mean, even Jesus got cursed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it can come from many ways. It can come from someone being angry, jealous, for whatever reason. And then you've got people that actually do black magic and dark witchcraft, dark, voodoo. And depending on where you're at in the karmic wheel is how badly you're going to get hit.
Right.
And it can block your whole life. It can turn your life to crap.
Yeah.
They can destroy everything. And you don't have a clue a lot of times where it's coming from. All of a sudden your life turns, badly. And if you really stopped and thought about it, I'm sure there was somebody you pissed off that knows how to do dark work. And they're doing it. And again, I had to learn this stuff when my ex-husband brought his kid into my life that did magic. So again, everything I learned to stay alive works for everybody else. So I think we're going to have to start doing it because I don't think we have a lot of time.
Okay. And let me just ever so quickly just say that also people just can invite darkness without realizing it. Subconsciously, you can invite a dark entity into your energy body, and I'm assuming this is going to work for that as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Be a light worker and go into a bar.
Yeah, exactly.
All the entities go, oh, light, we're going to go home with him.
Mm-hmm. I was
Okay.
one of those. It took me, it wasn't until I was about 30 I got rid of it.
Right. Well, but when it's not your energy, you can release it and let it go.
Yeah.
But you can go shopping and pick up people's anger and stuff like that and dark energies. So, you've got good spirits and bad spirits everywhere.
Yeah. Well, we are ready, Cathy. Lead us into our beautiful curse removal process.
All right, so I want everybody to be seated, put your feet flat on the floor, your hands up as you're going to receive. And I want you to start breathing deeply. Let there be light in the name of the presence of God, which I am, through the magnetic power of the sacred fire vested in me. I command, I surround each and every one of you in a bubble of golden flame. I add to that the blue flame of protection, the violet flame of transmutation, the green flame of healing, and I seal you in the pink flame of love. And I also invite all your teachers and guides in and to assist us to make this energy work as gentle, loving, and kind as we can. So now I want you to start taking some more deep breaths, and as you exhale, imagine yourself exhaling out everything that no longer serves you. It now goes through the violet flame back to God, and you start filling up with your divine essence. So I want you to imagine this incredible divine healing energy coming down from God and coming into the top of your head, the crown chakra. And now allow that divine energy to flow out your third eye, where it's in your forehead. And now allow that divine energy to flow down even farther, so it's now coming out of your throat chakra. And let that energy flow down even farther, so it's now coming out of your heart. Now let it come out of that heart chakra one more time. Now let that divine energy come out of your solar plexus. And feel that high divine energy now flow down even farther. So it's coming out of your belly button. And now let that divine energy come out of your root chakra. So feel that divine energy flow all the way down your legs. Let it go out your feet and send it into the earth. Let it flow down your arms and out your hands, and let it flow down your spine. So I want you to take one more deep breath, and this time as you exhale, imagine the energy that's out of balance anywhere in your body being gently released as you exhale through your breath, and then breathe normal. As you're doing that, I call Michael the Archangel to come forth and cut all ties to any energy you've taken on that's not yours, whether it's from a friend, relative, acquaintance, stranger, anybody you work with, TV set, animal, whatever the karmic reason is, it created anything out of balance in your life or your body today. And as all that unwanted energy is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to reptile, dinosaur energy, secret societies, organized religion, cut all ties to any oaths, vows, curses, hexes, rituals that could have been done to you or your family, going backwards and forwards hundreds of thousands of generations, or anything you could have done, consciously or unconsciously. And as all that unwanted energy too is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to any effigies that have been misused against you. And that's any elemental of yours that was used to hurt you or anyone, including anything you own, clothes, hair, picture, your name spoken, written, just thought of, or anything you have your energy on. And as ties those elementals are cut, I call the violet flame through them to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal. We fill them up with love, and now I command them to be neutral or only emit love. And now I want Michael to come forth, remove any energy implants that have been done to you or anything that could have carried over from any other lifetime because of dark magic, dark witchcraft, or voodoo. And I want the stick, pen, needle, or knife that's in your crown chakra removed from your third eye, your throat, heart, solar plexus, belly button, root, feet, hands, spine, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hips, teeth, anywhere in your body that's out of balance. And as you feel all those pins, needles, and knives being very gently removed, allow those spaces to fill up with the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal, and we release all that unwanted energy back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to patriarchy, genocide, rape, incest, slavery, prostitution, persecution, circumcision, removing any energy overlay that's trying to manipulate you, keeping you from connecting with God, healing yourself, being really successful, fulfilling all your divine missions, and living your life in joy. And as all the unwanted energy is gently removed, that's keeping all these wonderful things from coming to you, we also send it through the violet flame back to God. Then you fill up with more of your divine essence. And if there's anyone out there that's doing any kind of dark work against you, I ask them to step forward in the light and stop doing their work. Because if they're doing it to you, they're doing it to others. And if they choose not to step forward in the light, I ask their higher self and their guardian angels to put them in positions of total and complete harmlessness now. I put them in a bubble of mirror. The mirror faces them 2 inches from their nose. And I also add the violet flame in the mirror to transmute any dark energy. And as long as they carry these dark thoughts, the bubble of mirror stays up. And again, it faces them 2 inches from their nose. And the violet flame transmutes any energy that's in this bubble, so they have nothing to gain any forward movement on. And this bubble of mirror stays up 24/7, 365 days a year until they do works of good. I call to everyone's higher selves, and I ask that your divine blueprint for perfect health is now activated in your body. So now take some gentle, deep breaths. And I want all this integration to be very gentle, kind, loving, with all your cells, your atoms, your molecules going all the way down into your DNA, including your internal organs. Let all this energy work be very gentle, loving, and kind. All right, now I'm going to ground everybody, and I want everyone, again, to put your feet flat on the floor. And I'm going to ask the Mother Earth to send you energy now. And feel the Mother Earth sending you energy up your legs, and feel your legs become solid. And as the earth energy flows upward in your body, you become very centered, very clear-headed. All your energies are pulled back into your body and you become very, very centered, very balanced, very grounded. Now, for those of you later, if you really need more grounding, I would suggest go hug a tree, put your hands on the tree, put all your excess, and imagine yourself sending all the excess energy into the tree. And when you've done that for about 2 minutes, ask the tree to send you energy back and you'll really, really ground. And then go eat something. That helps too. Hello, Bernard.
I'm sleeping. No, I'm kidding. That was lovely. Thank you so much, Cathy. It's got to have been, 7, 8 months since I've done that with you, and I need to do that like once a month.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And for people that, if that you can do it once a day, go to my website, www.angeliteom.com. That's ANGELITEOM. And look under free healing. And I actually have the curse removal there that you can download for free. And, you can listen to it. You can do it for your friends, anybody. I mean, if you want to leave me a donation, I wouldn't, be upset. But you don't have money, you can get it for free.
Good.
And like I said, it's the maintenance program. Because when you're a light worker, Bernard, you got to assume you're under attack 24/7.
Oh, yeah. And I can feel it, sadly, sometimes.
And when you go down around full moon equinox, man, you were hit with energy.
Man, I had a meltdown last night. So this was perfect.
I love perfect.
Thank you so much, Cathy. Now, tell us a little bit. We've only got about 1 minute left, but tell us a little bit about your radio show here on Revolution Radio.
Thank you.
What
tonight.
day you're on after us, several hours after us?
Yeah. So, let's see. I'm on 10 o'clock, from 10 to midnight Eastern Time, Studio B.
Oh, wonderful.
They don't let me have Studio A.
Tell me, that's because you curse. No, I'm kidding. F word. No, I'm kidding. Who's your guest tonight?
Oh, Jeff Harvey.
Oh, wonderful. One of my favorite people.
Yeah? Oh, cool. Yeah.
I had him on the show like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's fantastic.
Oh, really? How funny.
Yeah,
He's doing the rounds.
That's great. I remember, didn't you do a show with him with me? And you all met each other on one of our shows. Exactly. I was like, you guys got to do a show together.
There we go. It's like, I'm fun, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, the two of you together is going to be awesome. I highly recommend that to everybody listening. So tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Studio B here on Revolution Radio. That's wonderful. And tell us your website ever so quickly.
Angeliteom.com. That's ANGELITEOM.com.
Wonderful.
And, come to Hawaii. I got a store there in Honokaa, the Big Island. I do free pain and stress release for those that are in need. And I have some awesome healing products.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on this very special 5th anniversary show for us here at the Global Illumination Council.
5 is the number of change. How beautiful.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Cathy, and thank you to all of our listeners. We will see you again next week here on Revolution Radio, and we'll be doing our special series called Walking the Talk. We hope you'll come join us again. Bye-bye now.